Breaking news. The tiny hands now have a tiny microphone for making important announcements. Thank you, Allie. Allie sent me this. How cute is this? Yay! Okay, so you guys, the tea today is so piping hot that it just popped into the Crack the Crown group, and you're about to start reading it when we do. And the reason it's so piping hot is because we finally got some kind of response from Paparazzi's legal team, but it's not for us. This letter is addressed to Caroline E. Wilson, Bureau of Consumer Protection from Pennsylvania. So we're going to read that. We've also got a little video recording of one of the founders who has an opinion about the current climate in America. It's kind of like a what's happening in America, take the pulse thing. We've had a very busy week, Jerry. Jerry, how's your week been?
I can't.
I love the tiny microphone. I'm sorry, I love it. I'm so in love with it. I can now do tiny mic drops. That didn't go as well as I'd hoped. I'm gonna have to work with it. How do you do a tiny mic drop? There it is. That was better.
From now on, all the paparazzi consultants, especially the founders, don't deserve big mic drops. They just get tiny mic drops.
This is how important you are.
There you go.
I love the tiny microphone for the tiny hands. It's my favorite thing I've gotten in I don't know how long. I love it.
Y'all, I don't know if I'm getting old or what, but my eyesight is so blurry all the time. It sucks.
I just figure we're so tired from looking at the big picture, it's hard to squint at the tiny things now.
That is so funny.
We're future focused, Jerry. We can't look at the present. The present is blurry because we're future focused.
I can't.
I'm going with that.
Oh. So you're going to hear my dogs. And again, I apologize. You always hear my dogs. I need to find a room. I should go upstairs in my office.
No, we were totally late because my dog came downstairs. Tankers. He's not supposed to be down here and he knew it. He was looking at me like he knew he was getting in trouble. He's peeking around the door going,
I'm here.
I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, you're not supposed to be down here, friend. Yeah.
All right, let me go. Okay, so I'm going to get up and somebody's going to say that I'm thicker than a snicker again.
Thicker than a snicker. You're a full snack, baby.
I swear. I was like, is that good? Is that bad? That's bad. That's bad, right? I seriously was like, dude, I need to go on a diet. They're like, no, thicker than a snicker is good. I'm like, oh.
You
okay.
can be, but yeah, I was like, I'm going to just go with, because Snickers are delightful. They're one of my top 3 favorite candy bars, along with Reese Cups.
I don't know.
And Bullseyes, but they're not really a candy bar.
I'm going to go shut the door. So I'll be right back. Right back.
On my tiny microphone while I've been waiting because we got breaking news, friends. Breaking news. Thank you to everybody who said congratulations. Today was my first full day back in the office. I had 7 meetings. I was so excited to talk to people. I think we actually did some good work today, so we're excited. We got some big plans for helping some folks, and it was really a good day. And the only thing that could have made a good day better was ending the day with tea time.
Okay, let's do this.
Y'all, there's a very fine member of our Crack the Crown crew by the name of Ashley. And Ashley has been diligently, Miss Ashley Miller, been sending her reports off to all of the different groups that will take a complaint about paparazzi jewelry. So she has sent them to the FTC. She sent them to her Pennsylvania Attorney General with a complaint, the Consumer Protection Agency. She sent them to, I believe where else did she send them? Should I read her story that she posted in the Papa group? I'll read her story.
Because I want to hear it.
She said, thank you so much for adding me. My story is pretty ordinary, I guess. I started with Papa in March 2017 after my husband told me I couldn't sell LuLaRoe and I needed a focus. I had just lost my job and struggling with finding employment, so Paparazzi gave me purpose. My first 2 years, I was consistent with going live, doing challenges for my upline, booking events, and growing a team. In October 2018, we lost our family dog suddenly to cancer, and I was not okay at all. Yeah, that's hard. My husband and kids couldn't recover from the loss, so within a few weeks, we got a puppy to help us heal. Sophie was so much work. I couldn't work my business because I was training a puppy, and my husband worked out of town full time, but I pushed through. Then another tragedy hits. My father in law died, so I'm back to healing my husband and family. That is a lot, Ashley. That is a lot, girl. During those times, I started wondering how much more I could keep pushing for my business to even be more successful. I was stuck at Premier Director. I hit Life of the Party Bronze, Crown Club 5 and 10. I was comparing my journey to other consultants who came in after me and became elite within a year. I wanted that elite status and making the big bucks. I wanted triple digits on my views when I was live. I had a really good customer who was interested in selling the jewelry but needed time to get things together. So I was excited to get a consultant on my team and hopefully push it to executive director. And then a few weeks later, she finally told me that she signed up under someone else and it crushed me. And I was pissed. Yeah, how many of us have been there? You talk to somebody, they're your customer, you're helping them along, you're trying to give them tips on business, and then they join somebody else's team and you're like,
So I want to, and I know we're going to finish Ashley's story, but somebody had given me like input on that. And I guess everybody in Paparazzi hated me because they felt like I would steal all their recruits. Unbeknownst to me, I don't, you know what I mean? Like I would get people sign up with me and I wasn't even asking them to sign up with me. Every day I'd have signups, right? And I'm like, but I didn't go after those people. I didn't say, hey, I hope you're talking to somebody else. Come join my team, right? So I guess everybody in Paparazzi thought I was buying everybody's kits and stealing their recruits. Dude, it's an ugly business. I mean, like,
yeah, we
crazy.
know people who are buying people's kits, but it was not you.
No, and it happened to me too though, because people were, I would talk to me, and then they would go find somebody else and then sign up under them, and I really, it didn't matter to me either way. I guess maybe because I wasn't fighting for signups, but it happens to everybody. It happened to me too, but I did not know how bad people hated me in Paparazzi because they felt like I got all the signups.
That's because other people liked you even if they didn't, right? Okay. So then she says, so I just concentrated on attending big events where I would sell my inventory and restock when I wanted to add more items. I couldn't get any new items that came at 3 o'clock. I was setting up at shows to not make anything, and it was exhausting. I did an event at the end of September, and I didn't do as well as previous years. I spent 8 hours outside under a tent with humidity. Girl. The next week, my husband gets sick. I thought maybe he got COVID. I got tested and I was positive. I had a mild case, but my husband was struggling. High fever, body aches, sweats, cough, short of breath, and then he went into the hospital. Since then, my husband has been on life support and transferred to a level 1 hospital for ECMO. He was in a coma. My life was in shambles. I got fired from my job while my husband was fighting for life, and I kept thinking about how will I support my household, pay my mortgage, raise my son, pay all the bills. Since I was fighting for unemployment benefits, I couldn't sell jewelry, right? What a terrible position to be in, girl. Then I got this email from Paparazzi, the one stating how their jewelry is safe and people who are poisoned by negativity and they stand behind their products. So I'm confused. I followed Roberta Blevins on TikTok and she was talking about Crack the Crown. I hopped onto the testing results and I was appalled at Paparazzi. Now I have resigned from the business because I cannot be involved in fraud. Also, a red flag is when you see top earners and elite backing out. You know that you're looking at a sinking ship company. I want Paparazzi to pay me for all the inventory in my house, opened and unopened. Give me back 100% of what I spent on it. I already filed a complaint with my attorney general. Thank you so much for allowing me to post my story, and I look forward to what we can do to get justice for all. Ashley, you are thanking us, but I think we want to thank you because every single time somebody contacts their state attorney general or their consumer protection agency or the Better Business Bureau and files a complaint, we get closer and closer to getting justice. So really, we want to give you a big thank you. And that's why we read your story, because your story, while it is heartbreaking, is also very inspirational because you have taken a step and done something, right? So you filed with your state attorney general, and it looks like today, you posted today, you had posted last week that your Pennsylvania attorney general is proceeding with your complaint and that they hope to have a response within 21 days. And here is the copy of the response that you posted in the group. It's in the group for the Attorney General getting back to you. It says, Dear Ms. Miller, your complaint has been received by the Bureau of Consumer Protection. They gave you a file number. A copy of your complaint as presented to the Bureau has been sent to the business with a request for the business to provide a written response to the Bureau within 21 days. We'll keep you apprised of significant developments. You'll be notified by mail when we receive information regarding your case. So they said something about there's mediation. If it involves a dispute with your credit card, you know, that's something to go into with your credit card company, etc. And I was reading all this about what to do with credit cards if it's a specific charge and anything. It says if your complaint has been settled, you know information, would love to hear from your would have a bearing on your complaint, let us know. Okay. So that's cool. That's what you can expect to get back as a response. But the best part is Paparazzi's attorneys apparently responded. Now, the first thing I'd like to say is I'm going to apologize ahead of time for any context, grammar, or spelling errors because the letter contains some. So Paparazzi is paying Buckhalter, a very expensive firm, to write letters on their behalf, and apparently Hooked on Phonics did not work well for them. But that being said, for your receipts, let me turn down the glare here.
Was Buckhalter the same one that sent us letters or no?
Oh, yeah. It's the same one.
It's the same attorney, right?
This is from Wilshire Boulevard in California. There's page 1. Receipts, lovers. And let's see. And this is page 2. For your receipt snapping needs. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this to you. This is to Caroline Wilson, Bureau of Consumer Protection. I feel like I should not read this in a dramatic voice because people got irritated, but I wanted to read it in a dramatic voice, but I won't. Bureau of Consumer Protection in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, regarding Ashley Miller. Dear Ms. Wilson, Buckhalter has been retained to represent Paparazzi Accessories with respect to the recent complaint sent to your office by Ashley Miller. This letter contains nothing of value, but it is interesting to see how they read it. That's what I wanted to tell you ahead of time. Before I start spewing this and understand why, we all know that this is BS. Paparazzi was founded in 2011 by two sisters who enjoyed showing people how to accessorize. Over the years, Paparazzi has expanded to a nationwide network of consultants and entrepreneurs. Paparazzi jewelry is sold exclusively through Paparazzi's consultants. Not true. It's sold on the website. And are they consultants or entrepreneurs? Which is it? Anyone who wishes to sell the Paparazzi line can do so for themselves once they join our consultant team. Paparazzi does not discriminate on any basis. As the result of its welcoming and inclusive policies, Paparazzi is a flourishing business that empowers individuals and builds self-assurance and financial independence. Recently, question have been raised regarding the lead and nickel. I'm sorry. I'm like, did you? Anyway, recently question have been raised regarding the lead and nickel content in Paparazzi jewelry. These questions have been raised by individuals who have no basis for their claims and are determined to undermine Paparazzi reputation in the market. Shame on you. The basis for our claims is the certified lab results we have showing that the jewelry is not nickel and lead free. But anyway, undermine Paparazzi reputation in the market. There should be some apostrophe S. I mean, I'm trying not to be like a grammar jerk, but this is written by a professional association. I'm sure they paid quite a bit of money for it. And it's a little professionally embarrassing that in one paragraph alone, we found two pretty glaring grammar mistakes that anybody who proofread it might have seen, but maybe they're not that keen. Who knows? Paparazzi Accessories meets applicable safety laws and regulations in the United States. The metals found in paparazzi jewelry pieces are primarily made of iron and include other trace minerals. Those trace minerals are made up of a metallic alloy of either zinc, steel, aluminum, or copper. Before our jewelry is sold, paparazzi tests its jewelry for chemicals of concern using labs that are accepted by the United States Consumer Products Safety Commission. Paparazzi Accessories is required to undergo testing for compliance with California's Proposition 65, which includes testing for all heavy metals, including lead, nickel, cadmium, as well as testing for phthalates. California's Proposition 65 is one of the most stringent consumer laws in the United States, and Paparazzi's accessories comply with Proposition 65. This is exactly from the letter. They cut and pasted the letter they sent to consultants. In 1992, the Federal Trade Commission issued its Green Guide. These guidelines were updated and revised in 1996, 1998, and 2012. The purpose of the guidance was to provide businesses with 1. General principles that apply to all environmental marketing claims, 2. Guidance on how consumers are likely to interpret particular claims and how marketers can substantiate these claims, and 3. How marketers can qualify their claims to avoid deceiving consumers. Pursuant to the Green Guide, a company can claim an item as quote-unquote free of or quote-unquote does not contain a certain substance, even for a product, package, or service that contains or uses a trace amount of the substance if 1. The level of the specified substance is no more than that which would be found as an acknowledged trace contaminant or background level. 2. The substance's presence does not cause material harm that consumers typically associate with that substance. And 3. The substance has not been added intentionally to the product. Because the paparazzi jewelry pieces are tested to the most stringent standards using reliable and repeatable test methods in approved labs under California's Proposition 65, any claim that a particular paparazzi accessory is lead or nickel free is sanctioned by federal law. Please be assured that Paparazzi firmly stands by the quality and viability of its testing and products. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact us. Once again, they repeated their general statement, but provided no testing proof. So a consumer, Ashley Miller, made a claim that the jewelry is not nickel and lead free. Paparazzi said, yeah, it is. And even if it's not, it's only got a little bit, and we're allowed to say it is anyway. But they didn't show any proof to dispute the lab results that we have for the 10 pieces that we were able to test to date. We have other pieces going out to some other labs. So we'll have more test results, hopefully within the next month. But once again, no proof. Did I misread anything? Did I misrepresent anything in that letter? Did you interpret it differently than I did?
Nope. It's the same old. I just, again, and I talked about this a little bit on my live show today when I just was, my brain is just so filled full of what the fucks. That, number one,
Ashley's on here. Yay!
Oh, good. Thank you, Ashley, for coming on here. You know, they take Prop 65 and they use it as a source of, we passed Prop 65, which is the most stringent in the United States. Number one, there is nobody who holds these companies liable for showing proof that they are passing Prop 65. There's no entity whatsoever that says, hey, you're saying you're Prop 65 compliant. This quarter, we need to see your stats. This month, we need to see your stats. Hey, you released new product. We need to see your stats. There is no entity that holds these companies liable for upholding the Prop 65 standards. The only time a company has to retort on being called on the carpet about Prop 65 is somebody like me and Tracy get a lawyer on their ass to prove it. Then we got companies like Paparazzi who retort and say, yes, we are, neener, with no records whatsoever to show that they're compliant. The other thing that Paparazzi is very well versed on, and I wrote them a letter and I said, I'm quite sure you know that I know that you know, Paparazzi, that there is hundreds of lawyers out there who know how to fight the loopholes on Prop 65. So even though you want to hang your hat on it and say it's the most stringent standards in the United States and we passed Prop 65 without showing any receipts whatsoever, even if we take them to court, all they do is get a slap on the wrist and maybe a $15,000 fine saying, shame on you. You did that for 10 years. You can't do that. That's it. That's it. So why wouldn't any company like Paparazzi, you lying pieces of shit, why wouldn't any company do this, hang their hat on Prop 65 and just boast about how it's the most stringent in the United States? We're never going to show you any of our independent testing, but we're going to just put letters and claims and everything out there that we comply to the most stringent of the testings, and they don't show any proof whatsoever. Nobody holds them responsible to show any of this proof. It's all fucking bullshit. It's all red tape bullshit. It's bull.
That deserves a tiny mic drop.
If you guys think I'm lying, Google it. You will see that there is no entity that holds these people liable for claiming that they are Prop 65 compliant. Zero. None. And all this did, getting Prop 65 passed on ballots, was get lawyers more money in their pocket to help companies like Paparazzi go through the loopholes and get tiny little fines. 15,000, even 150,000 for Paparazzi is toilet paper. It's toilet paper. It's fucking nothing. And they know this. And it's bullshit.
I agree. So Tammy had an interesting point. She said, I can't help but wonder why we could not ship outside the United States. Are their laws stricter than ours in the United States, and possibly why they could not ship outside? I'm just curious. Yeah, there are much stricter laws, especially in Europe, for these supposedly trace metal contents. And listen, Jerry and I are not, by any stretch of the imagination, experts on this stuff, but we have been reading quite a bit lately about it. And what we're reading is telling us that even these Prop 65 supposedly compliance pieces couldn't be sold in Europe. I think that, was it Denmark that said any cadmium in a product is automatically disqualifies it? Like there's traces of arsenic would be, they'd automatically be booted. I mean, their standards are much stricter about these heavy metals and toxicants inside products. So we've done a lot of reading since we got our test results back, right? About what Prop 65 means, which states have laws that protect consumers, what's, what is acceptable, what is a trace amount, because we're not scientists. We got those test results back. We had a group of, scientists come on to try to explain it to everybody as best we could. But really, what we're trying to point out to everybody, and the burning question, whether you're a scientist or not, is if they're compliant, why the hell aren't they showing anybody their test results? Their supposed test results that they said that they're required. They say in all these letters.
Nope, I think she got a phone call. Yeah, all they have to do is show us the test results, and they just don't do it. They just, it screams volumes on what truly is going on. Just show us one test, one valid test that you've done, Paparazzi, on anything, right? Nothing. There's nothing at all. Yet we're the liars. Uh-oh. She'll be back. I think she got a phone call and then that kind of boots her. So if you guys research Prop 65, all it did, honestly, all Prop 65 did was give an opportunity for companies like Paparazzi to hang their hat on the most strictest of the standards and claim that they follow these strict standards and guidelines, and they don't have to report to anybody about it whatsoever. And it's bullshit, is what it is.
Sorry, the internet glitched on me.
So of course they write this, and they write this letter back from the attorney who can't spell correctly. Literally 75% of it was cut, copy, and paste, and the little bit that they had to write had typos in it. I'm so impressed by your lawyer, Paparazzi. So impressed. Same lawyer who mixed up the names. Remember when they sent you that one letter? They
Oh,
actually
they sent me to cease and desist and said that it was Babs Fabulous Bling or something. They sent me a letter about the wrong website. I was like, you probably mean the other website, but whatever.
yeah. So uh it's just all very interesting that they still haven't released anything at all. We're patiently waiting. Nothing's going to come about with it. They're just going to keep on skirting it and then waiting to see if somebody takes them to court so that way they can get their little fine slap on their wrist and then to keep on their merry little way. It's nasty. It's disgusting.
I'm really tired of everybody telling us they don't have anything to prove. All the jewelry at all the other places has the same stuff in it. Maybe it does.
That's not the
Maybe
point.
it doesn't. But the point is, paparazzi told everybody for 10 years they were nickel and lead free, and they lied.
They
It
also
isn't
say,
about whether other jewelry has trace contaminants in it. We're not taking on the entire world. We're saying we bought the stuff under the belief that it was what they said it was, nickel and lead free. And then we sold it to other people, used our own personal reputation to sell it, saying that it was nickel and lead free. And it's not.
just
So
that.
I don't care about any other retailer in America because I wasn't selling jewelry on behalf of any other retailer in America. I'm worried about paparazzi accessories and the fact that they lied to all of us for years. And if for some reason the 10 pieces of jewelry that we sent out were anomalous and they were just a weird, strange side hustle bit of bullshit and all the other jewelry's safe, then show us the testing.
Right.
If you're testing it to meet these standards, I'm sure you have to do a random sampling of all of your products. Where's the testing? Do you owe it to us? Yes, you motherfucking do, because we're consumers and you need to prove that the information we have is not accurate. We're calling you out. We want to see the proof. And the fact that they're constantly silent is absolutely damning in my book.
It is. And the other problem that I have with it is they say that it's mainly iron with other trace minerals. I'm sorry. We didn't show trace shit. We showed high amounts of these other chemicals. There wasn't trace. No, it wasn't trace. So that in itself is another lie. Trace cadmium. There was one piece that was like 80%. Now, I will say that we do have more pieces going out to different accredited labs, same exact deal, because again, we want to debunk all the lies that the other lab was specifically for soil, which is a total freaking lie. It is
Yeah,
not
that was funny.
for soil. That is just a joke. We are also taking it to a lab that's accredited for consumers. You know what I mean.
So it's
Consumer.
the Consumer Product Safety Commission. They're
Correct.
claiming that the lab they use is accredited by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So the lab that we're using now is accredited by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So either
Yep.
you're going to say the entire lab is a bunch of liars, or I'm just really tired of being absolutely blown off by people who have absolutely no basis in fact for any of their claims. We put our money where our mouth is. We told you exactly which pieces we were testing. You don't have to believe anything that we say, but you can't show that we're false until you go get different results. So take the same pieces of jewelry to an accredited lab and pay for them to be analyzed like we did.
Right.
If your results are different than ours, then I'll consider that as a valid counterpoint. But so
Right.
far, nobody's done this. They've just talked about how, well, you shouldn't have done home testing. You're right. We found out afterwards that home testing is not that accurate. But what it did do was point us in the direction of finding an accredited lab. We found an accredited lab that does the exact same kind of testing. Their complaint was, well, this isn't accredited by the Consumer Product Safety Commission, so we don't have to listen to any of their results. Okay. You don't like chemistry. That's cool. Then we'll find a lab that's accredited by the exact agency that you're claiming is the only agency whose results you
Yep.
will actually agree with.
Yep.
Cool.
No
Now, why
problem.
don't you send some jewelry off to Paparazzi Consultants? Let us
Please.
know what you think, what your findings are, because we've made our findings public. We put a watermark on them, not because we created them ourselves, but because we wanted to make sure the watermark was big enough that you could not alter whatever the lab results were. We have the original document, it's posted up in our group, but we have the watermarked one to show that none of the results were tampered with. But I'm asking honest questions, and I'm not getting honest answers. I am a consumer. You are a consumer. We deserve an answer. Where is it?
Exactly. So I did a pre-tea time in Clubhouse, so I wouldn't, go off about things that were not very significant. But I would love, and this is up to you if you're like, Jerry, give it a rest. We will definitely give it a rest. But
Girl,
I
talk.
personally would love to talk about the podcast with Roberta Blevins. But it's
I
up to
think
you.
we should talk about it because people have
Okay.
had really mixed reviews. I had mixed reviews of it.
Okay.
As you know, I respect Roberta Blevins. I've been a guest on her podcast twice, but I wasn't really thrilled with her Lead Safe Mama interview. Mostly because Lead Safe Mama expressed her disdain for the testing that we had done initially, and totally get that. We get that, right? We know that that was not the most accurate testing, so we went ahead and sent it to a lab.
So let me help out. So Lead Safe Mama, actually, we gave her way more kudos. I gave her kudos from the very beginning when we started doing any type of talking. And she's the one that alerted me that there may be dangerous toxins in this jewelry, which you and I talked about it, Tracy, in the very beginning of us saying, let's dig in and find out what the hell's in this jewelry, right? And so I was always giving her kudos for what she did. Now, I think in her career, and I don't want to misquote, but I'll be generous. Maybe she's tested 7 paparazzi pieces, but I want to say like 4. But that's just me, right? And she uses her gun, right? That
The
she,
XRF gun, X-ray fluorescence gun, yes.
right. And she makes sure has the proper software downloaded for jewelry, blah, blah, all the metals, blah, 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 right? And she, let's say if Mama, Tracy already knows how I feel. She was not happy that we did home testing when we did the home testing. She was totally not happy about that. She just went on a rage about it. And so we said, fine, we'll put our money where our mouth is. We're going to send off the same pieces to an accredited lab. When the results came back from the accredited lab, we were super high strung. We read off the results. We read them off, or some of our termage was not correct. So we followed it up in less than 24 hours with scientists to translate the results. And the translation was, it was bad. It was all bad.com, which was the same thing that we said. It was fucking bad. Okay. So
We were not exact in our description, but we were not out of the ballpark, right?
mind you, this whole time, Tracy nor I have ever claimed to be scientists, to know about this shit. None
Not
of
a
the above.
scientist.
None of the above. So let's save Mama. And see, here's the problem that I have. I thought that we were all on the same team, right? I thought that anti-MLMers would be on the same team. I thought that Let's Save Mama people would be on the same team. Hell, I thought that Emily Dickinson, what the hell's her name? Emily what?
Oh, Joan, not Dickinson, Jones. Emily Dickinson's an
I,
author.
I'm
She's
being a
dead.
smart.
Totally dead. Long dead.
I'm being a smartass. I call her Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson Jones would be on the same page. But it seems that just much like when you're in the MLM world, everybody is just grasping at their own 10 minutes of fame. I don't understand what it is.
Stroke that ego, baby. Stroke that ego.
Never did me and Tracy say that we are acclaimed, whatever, whatever, whatever.
I am acclaimed secretary of sciencey things in the Reed household. I am the president of the scientific committee of Manowar Boulevard. I am the
Right?
president of sciencey things. Yeah, no.
The only thing I have ever claimed is to tell you I know how to use the fuck word really fucking well. That's it.
You know what you are? You're fucktastic at it.
I'm fantastic at it. I am. So let's say if Mama went ahead and did a podcast with Roberta Blevins. Hell, I haven't even gotten the opportunity to have a podcast with Roberta Blevins. And I love you, Roberta, but at this moment, I'm going to pass on that offer that you did have up there, but I'm passing on it. So during this podcast, how long was the podcast? An hour and a half?
It was like an hour and 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, it was a regular, solidly long. Yeah.
For the most of the podcast, let's say if Mama decided to go on and on and on about what we did wrong. And she never focused on anything we did right. Now, here's the problem I have with it. Now, I do commend you, Let's Safe Mama, for telling everybody home testings are not accurate because paparazzi consultants don't want to put their money where their mouth is. And they now just want to do home testings and say it's negative, even though they're not even doing a home test correctly to show you anything at all. But that's it. We went past the home testing, turned it into the lab. Then when we didn't use the proper words, we had scientists who then said what the lab results were. She spent the whole podcast literally trying to put down any part of it because at the end of the day was upset that it didn't come from her.
That we didn't give her credit because she had done a test 2 or 3 years before we did ours. So she was upset and expressed disdain during the podcast with Roberta that a lot of her testing results were disrespected and then years later were proven to be accurate and people were acting like it was new information. No, that is actually not what we did. We actually said that originally we had seen that her tests on a ring and some earrings had come back with dangerous elements. But at the time, we were so busy selling it that we didn't really believe her. We didn't say that we didn't give her credit at any point. In fact, Jerry, I think in our very first tea time when we started talking about metals testing, talked to her about it. But we were told while we were consultants through the grapevine that when people came up with injuries from the products, when they would say it turned their neck or wrists or fingers green or black or blistered up or irritated their ears, that it was a personal pH problem, it was a personal chemistry problem with that individual. And we believed it at the time. We started getting letters while the Crack the Crown group was growing with people showing their medical results where they had just huge blisters and huge skin irritations and literal burns on their necks they were claiming were from the jewelry. I personally didn't experience a lot of that. It made my fingers itch. The rings made my fingers itch. The bracelets would irritate my wrist after wearing it. The necklaces generally turned my neck either green or black. I just didn't put it down to anything other than that it was me, whatever soap I was using, etc. But when we started getting just the proliferation of medical issues sent to us, that's when we thought, you know what, we really ought to check this story. And Jerry, I don't know if you saw this comment, but I feel like right now you've been given a whole new title. It's fucktologist. And I like it. I like fucktologist. I think you should claim that. I think it needs to be on your business cards. I think you're muted.
Thank you for that. I guess the only thing I can claim now in my life is that I'm a fucktologist. It almost sounds like I'm a professional whore, but that's okay.
I guess our whole point is we don't claim to be perfect, but when you knew better, you do better, right? You find something out, something sticks in the back of your brain, and you feel obligated to follow up on it. And that's what we're doing. And so far, the information that we found is even more horrifying than we expected. None of us were real thrilled to find out that our houses were full of this shit. Like, Jerry and I literally have rooms in our homes full of inventory.
Oh.
We're not selling it. It's sitting here and we're not sure what to do with it because, based on people calling around in different parts of the country, not even safe to take it to the dump because it's going to leach into the ground. And one of the things we've been reading about when trying to figure out about the transference of metals into humans is that we've seen the transference of these metals in the soil, then it goes into your plants and you eat it. Like, it's a whole big thing.
Big thing.
So it's kind of horrifying, and we're not going to go into a million details about it because we're not the scientists that you want to claim we're not. We're not. We don't claim to be, but we are reading. It's all out there. What do you say? Google that shit.
Google that shit. And so
you
let's
won't like it.
Let's see, Mama, if you're watching this video, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Thought we were on the same team. You would think that we would be. Sorry your butt hurt. However, I gave you shout outs multiple times. And let me reiterate, let's see if Mama, you didn't even know who I was anyhow. You knew who Tracy was. You had no idea who I was. So am I impressed with you? No, not at all.
We got a whole lot of Tracy and crew.
Not only did you spend an hour and a half dissing Tea Time and everything that we're trying to do against this company, right? Even though we're supposed to be on the same team, you didn't even know who the fuck I was. So sorry, not sorry, right? You could have spent an hour and a half literally emphasizing that paparazzi jewelry is shit and more testing that we could have been doing together on it. And it irks me. It really fucking irks me is what it does. I can't understand the whole shame on them. I should be the one that is front and center on this. Dude, I think you've tested 4 pieces. I'm so confused.
We've already tested 10.
And we didn't do it with an XRF gun. We FR whatever. We did it in a lab, followed up by scientists. They actually have degrees. Let's say, if Mama, you do not have a degree.
And neither do we, which doesn't mean that some of the information we're giving is not accurate. It just means that I don't feel like we're qualified to initiate testing, which is why, when we found out that the home testing kits weren't accurate, we sent it to a lab. The lab does digestive testing where they actually dissolve the item and take it down to micro levels of each amount, which, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the audience, but the XRF gun is not as accurate. And because it's not dissolved, it actually depends on where you point it at the item as to what results you're going to get. So if it's a large piece and you point it at one corner, it only covers a certain area. So it's going to give you the results for that area where the gun is pointed, but it's not going to give you the entire content of the entire object, whereas dissolving the item is going to give you the total content. So I think it's a different approach. I kind of like the approach that we have taken with the digestive testing. We're looking for someone to explain to us in more detail specifically about testing jewelry and product safety. We haven't found that expert yet, but we will. But that being said, you can chastise us all you want for what you think we've done wrong. But I know we're doing a lot of things right. So the nitpicking didn't really serve much purpose. We've already moved on from the things that you said we didn't do well. Home testing, we've moved on from it. And I thought we did give her credit where credit was due. We did share her articles and show that she had tested some of the pieces as well. So I'm not sure where her disappointment lies. But the tone of that article was really kind of a disappointment.
Is Caroline here to read some clapbacks on
I think she's around. I haven't heard her yet, but we do have one more thing to play. Did you want
Okay.
me to play the
Yes. Oh, you got
January 2022 leadership call from Paparazzi?
this has been bothering me. I've known about this for several weeks, and we keep on having so much go on that we haven't played it. But this is disgusting. This is disgusting.
So this is from the Paparazzi leadership call, January 22, and they do that on a Zoom, right? Let me turn down sorry, I turned the glare back up so I can read it because I'm old. This is from January 2022. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. As soon as I get the volume up. Sorry, y'all.
Are you going to play that right now? Pause that for a second.
If anything, I would say take the.
Do you want me to pause? Do you want me to play it now, or do you want to play something else?
Pause it for a second. I have a bone to pick.
Oh, a bone!
Yeah, Summer Neal, you're on my last fucking nerve. Okay. Usually I don't care about comments flying by, but lately I've been on one. And Summer Neal, I don't know if you've listened to anything that we do, or you just jumped on this randomly and decided to put in your 10, 15, 25 cents of worthlessness on here, but you need to fucking listen up. Listen up, Summer Neal. If maybe you have been following us, the fucking issue is that Paparazzi claims to be lead and nickel free, and they drag people into this company believing that you're able to sell costume jewelry at better than costume quality. And this is their whole giddy up and gamut. So maybe if you would take your head out of your ass, Summer Neal, and fucking listen to us for just a second, rather than running your keyboard warrior mouth on my goddamn page, you would understand what the fucking issue is. But you're too busy. You're too busy arguing with people on here with your bullshit. Shut your pie hole and start listening, Summer Neal. That I can't handle. I hate keyboard warriors. You guys are ridiculously stupid. Oh, she's saying, oh, it's a $5 jewelry. What do you expect? I expect the company to fucking tell the truth. That's what I expect. I expect the company not to lie for years and years and years to their consultants.
Oh,
that's
so
what
she's victim shaming. She's victim shaming. Super classy, Summer Neal. Thanks for hopping on, chick.
She's victim shaming. Exactly. So you know what?
I expect?
Summer Neal, shove it up your ass. Okay. Sorry for that intermission, y'all.
No. I so enjoy the victim shaming. It's just this culture in this country where people decide that if they don't like what you have to say, that they're going to make a way for you to feel badly about telling the truth is ridiculous. It's like somebody did a video the other day and it's like, people are bullying people on the internet. Telling the truth didn't used to be called bullying, Karen. It's called telling the truth. If the truth upsets you because you've built your whole foundation on a lie, that's not the fault of the truth teller. So put that in your potty and smoke it. I heard you like that. So this is the January 2022 Paparazzi leadership call. You may recognize the voice.
Honestly, if I have to hear another conversation about COVID, I don't even get it. Like, we all know it's out there, we know it's happening, and yet it's the number one topic of conversation in America. And we focus more time on things like that and other things that are out there than we do on what's going to get us to where we want to go. So, if anything, I would say take this week, next week, set those goals, define those goals, write out your roadmap, make adjustments. Adjusting is hard. It's painful. I can tell you right now, the dorks have been dealing with a lot of painful adjustments, getting you ready to be able to combine orders and be able to make the machine run and do all that with accuracy. But they've done it because they understand the value for the long haul. In your business, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. And I do think we have a lot of elite that have gotten comfortable and they haven't had to work as hard as they did in the beginning. And some have decided that they don't want to work hard anymore, and so they'll take what they've got and they'll write it out, and that's fantastic. If you've achieved your goals and you have no future,
That's it.
And you have no future? Is that what he's saying?
Now you have no future. I'm so sick of hearing about. You know what? I wish there was a world where we didn't have to hear about it too. Sorry, it's reality.
So, I'm sorry, Trent. You're so fucking tired of hearing about COVID. That's the number one issue in this world. You do realize people are dying, including your consultants, Trent. It is the number one issue in this world. People are dying. But instead, you say we are focusing on only COVID when we need to focus on the dorks working on combining your orders, because that's more important than COVID. Is this at the same time while you step over the bodies of your consultants and just it deletes their duplicated websites like they don't mean anything to you at all? You're so tired about hearing about this pandemic that's killing people. You are a piece of work. You are a piece of shit. And for those of you who are on my live who can't handle the cussing, exit stage left, Cupcake. Go get frosted someplace else. I don't give a shit if I hurt your feel bads.
Breaking news. Jerry doesn't give a shit. Again, Trent, you are a piece of shit.
Piece of
But
shit.
Jerry doesn't give a piece of shit. Therefore, you are completely irrelevant to this broadcast. Tune in next week when we mention more irrelevant. Anyway, Caroline's here with
How do you
Clapbacks.
guys feel about that? Like, seriously, how do you feel about that? When I heard it, it literally makes my stomach queasy. Queasy.
So, this is my question.
Oh,
Are they in such a white tower that not a single person that they personally know has died of COVID or been super sick? Because so many people I know personally have been ill. So many people I care about have passed away. Do they live in such an ivory tower that they can't even recognize a nationwide, not even nationwide, international pandemic, right? Where people are dying on a daily basis. You can't even, you're sick of hearing about it. You know what, I'm also heartsick of hearing about it, but I listen to the information because it's relevant. It's relevant to my life, to my family's life, to my community's life, to my world's existence. It's relevant and I listen to it. Does it hurt my heart? Of course it does. Do I talk about it? Of course, because it's important to talk about. It's important to recognize, appreciate, understand, and deal with it because it's part of our life right now. I wish it wasn't, but it is, and that's reality.
not just that, this is a moment in history. It is going to be a part of our lives forever. This has changed everything, and it's not going away, Trent, you colossal piece of shit. I cannot believe you would say something like that. You're so sick of hearing about COVID. We need to focus on more important things, on how to sell your $5 piece of shit jewelry. Wow.
You know, going on live sales is a nice distraction. It is. It's a good way for people to maybe keep themselves up and think about something different. But we're not going to ignore the elephant in the room. That's ridiculous and not realistic to expect of anyone. So that just shows how out of touch and absolutely uncompassionate
that
the founders of that company are, or at least that one. I mean, I guess he didn't speak for all four of them because it was just him, but
he always speaks for all four of them. Him and Misty speak for all four of them all the time. Do we have that video of Erica Cole mocking COVID? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you have that, Caroline? Can we show that?
Does Caroline have it?
Caroline's like the
sky blue.
You guys, this is classic. So Erica Cole does a TikTok about how she feels about COVID in her ivory tower. Yeah.
She's here for Clapbacks, but this is actually a good add-on.
It is. It is.
I gotta pull it up, you guys. I didn't save it because
That's fine.
I wonder if I got it. I wonder if I can
no, I
put it up.
have it.
Oh, okay.
I have it. Just hold on.
I didn't want to interrupt your clapback playlist because I know that that's specially
we are
curated.
Clapbacks today. Lord help me. I think I laughed so hard the last live show. I can't. Like, again, she's gonna do clapbacks with Caroline, and we have no idea what she's gonna pull up. But I'm still scarred by thicker than a snicker.
Think of that as snicker.
I had no idea that was.
You're an entire snack.
I'm a snack. I'm not just a snack. I'm a freaking 4-course meal. Have you seen my ass?
It's a buffet, baby.
It's a buffet. I know. I love Caroline too. Shelly Lynn said, I freaking love Caroline. I know.
I think she. I didn't have a screen recording of it. I had the link.
I wonder if I have a screen recording of it.
She deleted.
Did she delete it because it was so tactless? Maybe.
Oh, no.
You want to look? Why don't you look for clapbacks and I'll see if I can find it.
Sorry, I just thought of it.
No. It's worth bringing up. It's worth bringing up.
Yeah, it's a TikTok about how she feels about COVID. Probably after she heard Trent officially say he's sick of hearing it, she thought it would be appropriate to also show how sick she is.
Someone screen recorded it
I have
for me.
it.
Okay, there.
I have it.
Okay.
She blocked our business thing.
Oh, okay. Are you ready, Spaghetti?
Hi guys. I want to say hi because hi everybody. Everyone said hi. I know that my fan club is just massive, so I just want to say hi to my fans.
Wait, I forgot what they're called.
What?
They're called the Carolians. The Carolians. Yes, the Carolians. That's it. The Carolians. Yes.
Caroline's fans are the Carolians. Yes. Okay, you ready?
Team Caroline. That's what I like to see, Nancy. All right, here.
So I guess she's just
this bitch. She drinking her wine. Oh, good Lord. Everybody's got COVID. Just let me just drink my wine in my ivory tower. Trent, I'm tired of hearing about it too. Trent, I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I'm dead tired about hearing about it. I need you to buy my $5 jewelry.
Yeah, let's buy $5 jewelry. It's like, yeah.
Tired.
No. Just
tired in my ivory tower drinking my wine. Get over the COVID and buy some.
Everybody, she's rolling her eyes during the slide. Everybody's got it. Everybody's got it. Yeah,
like
a lot.
Like we're making it up, right? Like I'm complaining about having a zit on my nose. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, the first clapback is from this girl, and this actually goes with this clapback actually infuriated me, but this goes with the conversation we're talking about.
Okay.
This is on our convention video when we discuss convention.
Wait, we have to announce this is time for Caroline's clapbacks. We need a theme music going on, and now it's time for Caroline's clapbacks. But we need like some type of themed music or something for every time we do this segment. You can't just like roll into it like nothing.
Alexa, could you please play announcement music?
Yes, it has to be like a big dramatic announcement. It is time for Caroline's clapbacks.
I cannot do that for this stream. I cannot do that. Here's a station you might like.
Okay, is this what you want? Is this what you want?
Music. I cannot do that for this stream.
And now, coming in for a landing, it's gonna be a hard, bumpy stop, friends. It's time for Caroline's Clapbacks.
There we go. Love it. That is what it deserves. That's what it deserves.
Caroline, are you fully prepared with your clapbacks? Let me get the tiny microphone ready. Tiny microphone ready for Caroline's clapbacks.
Caroline's clapbacks.
Caroline and the Carolians.
So the first comment is actually from this person called Michelle Titsworth.
Wow.
Titsworth.
Okay, that's not her fault. It's her last name. Let's keep
Oh,
going.
but this comment is her fault. People die all the time. You can get COVID anywhere. Why do they need to say sorry? How do you know someone didn't get COVID before coming? So I think if I got COVID from your house, should you apologize to me?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, you should. Titsworth. Your tits are about all you're worth. Hope you got a perky set, because that's your entire value.
I was like...
Your tits with a mouth, and that's a shame.
Look, if you came to my house and you got COVID from my house, I would feel horrified.
And I would apologize.
Not only would I apologize, my ass would be feeding you for the whole time you're sick.
Correct.
I would feel horrible. I am so particular about my house with my employees that come in. It is my responsibility to make sure I am safe, so I'm not bringing COVID in this house, to give them a safe place to work. And they need to do the same. It's called being responsible. That's
Maybe human compassion, even.
I was
Titsworth.
like...
I'm not sure you've heard of it. Human compassion.
nasty.
I was like, what the hell?
Okay, so that's the first clapback.
Are
Thank
you
you.
kidding me?
Caroline,
It's like,
how?
this is a
Yes.
joke.
Yes, okay.
This one is from Simone Ratley. Ratley.
Okay.
She's a rat. It's sad so many people listen and believe disgruntled X, in all caps, consultants. I wear this jewelry all the time, and it's never made me sick.
I don't know. I think you're
Don't believe everything you hear, especially from people that are only upset that they lost a great paycheck. Miss Girl, that paycheck was not good.
Yeah. Not disgruntled about a paycheck. Disgruntled because the jewelry is a lie. Just saying.
The jewelry is a lie.
Just saying.
Detected. The jewelry is a lie.
Hashtag lies detected. Okay. Do you have any more clapbacks, Caroline? So far, they're kind of weak.
This one is just a freaking hilarious thread.
Okay.
This was under the Crack the Crown test results. The jewelry they brought to the lab is not paparazzi jewelry. This is people trying to tear paparazzi down. This is from that is from Nicole Baldwin. Lizzie responds and says, "Nicole, what is your evidence for this statement?" Nicole responds and said, "I have never had an issue with the jewelry I sell." And as the evidence, she posts a message from the Paparazzi founders. That the jewelry was paparazzi jewelry. That's her evidence.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I am the great and powerful Oz. Okay. Clapbacks.
It's like, it's not even funny.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
This comment is from Carrie Wilson Queen. Carrie Wilson Queen.
Bow before the queen.
It's $5 jewelry, people. What the hell do you expect? I have lots and lots of paparazzi. Never had any issues. Yes, pieces tarnish. A few earrings turned my ears. I got alcohol swabs and cleaned my ears. Easy peasy? Just a bunch of unhappy, miserable people making a mountain out of a molehill. Who has all the time on their hands that these hateful, miserable, negative Aunt Nancys obviously have? Get a life.
Has anyone seen my life? It's gotten away from
I
me.
can't breathe. My life, it's gone.
Hello. Does anyone have a spare life? I'm on the lookout.
Like, what? What? What?
Why am I thinking of Gulliver's Travels right now? I can't get it out of my head with the tiny hands and you're on the lookout. I'm just thinking of Gulliver's Gulliver. I just
Screenshot that.
can't.
Okay. Any more clapbacks?
Yes.
Okay.
I have 3 fake TikTok. And God knows what else of me. Everyone reported the TikTok weeks ago, and they are still under review. But compliance knows it's Colleen Nicole 6 and Colleen Nicole 578. My only real Facebook is this one. IG Colleen Nicole 1 and TikTok Colleen Nicole Lux. Report it to compliance now. So they know people have no time but to bring down people from a good thing. This year, August to now, people are going to be begging to come back in. But they are teaching them things to get them in trouble, and they will never be allowed in. Like a girl over 4.5 years ago said things out of rage and still banned from the company. I don't know about all of you, but we take our business very seriously and love on our teams harder than we love ourselves.
Is that from Colleen Nicole?
That is not coherent. That is an
Yes, it
incoherent
is.
statement. What TikTok? TikTok! TikTok!
She actually concerns me. Like legitimately concerns me.
Right?
Somebody done TikTok her TikTok.
TikTok. Okay. TikTok.
I guess she passed it and they, what do they call that? They call it
Colleen
something.
Nicole, can we get an update on what your commissions look like now? Please.
Yes.
I mean, in November, she lost over $164,000, but she doesn't care, Jerry. She's not in it for the money, honey.
So
Anymore.
this next comment is for
Bogarted. That's it. Somebody done bogarted her TikTok.
This comment is from Michelle T. Moyer. I'm so confused. Sometimes because you treat your daughter like she's more of your best friend than your daughter. Don't you have any boundaries for that child?
I had to take the kitty gates down because she got so tall she just stepped over them. So no, we ain't got no boundaries.
Oh, well.
Bitch, my son was my best friend growing up, and I had plenty of boundaries. Trust me. Maybe you should focus on parenting your own kids instead of everybody else's kids in the whole United States.
Well, this next comment
I
is...
am looking for the last fuck that I have to give. Oh, there it goes. Goodbye to you. Goodbye. I can't.
Your Tracy is on one, I swear. Oh, shit.
This next one is from Alex P. I wish Geraldine was my mom. I've never watched Tea Time before, and holy shit, she's amazing.
Oh, that's a nice one. Yay!
Hey.
This next one is from Lena H. I'm all for what you do, which is why I'm confused as to Jerry being on here when she's still affiliated with an MLM. Seems hypocritical on her part.
Okay, so
that's a valid challenge, but we've never said we're anti-MLM. We said we're anti-paparazzi. Let's be clear.
Let me speak for myself. Because the anti-MLM community is a little fucking confused. I don't give a shit if you like me or don't. Okay? I have never said I'm anti-MLM ever. I am anti-paparazzi. I am allowed to be whatever I want to be, just like you're allowed to be whatever you want to be. So stop putting me in your little box, your little shoe box, and deciding if I fit into your little square corners or not. I did not ask for your approval.
It was a tiny mic drop.
I will never ask for your approval, and I don't give a shit if you approve of me or you don't. I will do what I want, when I want to, whether or not you fucking like it.
Period. Period.
Mic drop.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to read some nice comments.
Okay.
From Jolene Carney. Tracy and Caroline, what a wonderful mother-daughter team you are. You have such a beautiful friendship, and you can plainly see that you not only love each other, but you genuinely like each other.
Sometimes.
Not true. So beautiful. You don't see this much. What wonderful people you are. Tracy, I love your editorial voice. And Caroline, you are so great at leading a discussion. So well spoken for a young lady of 17. Thank you for this vid. I'm gonna check out Tea Time.
Aw, how sweet.
I love the nice comments.
That's so sweet.
Thank you for introducing me to Tea Time with Tracy and Feisty. It is my favorite part of the week.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna read some from my Carolians.
Yay!
Sorry, everyone, but Caroline is the real MVP of that Tea Time.
I'm not saying you're wrong. You come with the receipts. Like, we're not that organized. MVP. Okay.
This one's very simple. Iconic bitch. Word, Jerry.
Word. Word.
I love Tracy's tiny hands. Yes. Okay. This one is just funny. This thread is like 4 paragraphs long, so buckle up.
Buckle up, buttercups.
Buckle up. Not all of us are brainwashed. Just because someone doesn't want to hear someone else's opinion doesn't mean they're uneducated. Like what? I know I'm not the only one who thinks that both sides, including the anti-MLM community, are unhealthy. Your generation is literally shot the fuck out. LOL, you all make me so mad. It has got nothing to do with MLMs at all. You say MLM huns are obnoxious when you are too. I will always stick with my opinion that y'all are no different than some of us are. I guess we can all follow your community now, right?
Yeah.
Cuts, y'all aren't forming your own type of cult or anything. Can't roll my eyes hard enough.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Yeah.
It's also okay to stay away from negative things. You are so rude about it, but you call us victims? Question mark, question mark, question mark. You don't bash victims! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. You are really something, Samantha. Pride has nothing to do with it. We've put our all into our boutiques. We have thousands of dollars worth of jewelry and need to sell it. Some of us don't have a shit ton of money to change things, like Jerry or the mom and daughter bullies. Like really, you are calling them victims but then laughing at them, calling them names, and it's all wrong. Your videos don't help people.
I don't have millions of dollars either, Chief.
Me neither, hun, but here's the deal. There's a difference between the victims and the people who are purposely victimizing people. And we've explained this a lot with crayons and a piece of paper,
Literally.
but difficult for some people to follow. There are people still currently in paparazzi who are victims. They don't have the money. They have sunk thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into the company. You are still sinking in debt. But I can guarantee come noon PST tomorrow, you are going to be fighting to get that $5 jewelry that you can't sell. Okay? You are a victim. But now at this point, because you've heard both sides, you kind of choose it. You're choosing to be a victim. You still are a victim. Now there's other people like Erica Cole who are victimizers. They know what they're doing. They buy their Fendi, they buy their cars, they flash their money, and they say, if you keep on buying that jewelry every single day and you just try to sell it, whether or not you can be like me someday. That's called a victimizer. Those are the people that we can't fucking stand. We can't fucking stand them. And while you're in your victim game, while you're being victimized by those people and you praise them, that whole post that you just spewed from your mouth was in an attempt to protect the exact people who are victimizing you. Congratulations. You are so hung up on the Kool-Aid. Hun, I don't know.
You know what I heard? Does anybody else hear it? Hun bot shark doo 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 doo. Hun bot shark doo 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 doo. Hun bot shark doo 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 doo. Hun bot shark.
So I'm just going to leave off with this nice comment from Break the Silence. Beautiful, strong, intelligent women lifting each other up. You all rock. # truth wins.
Woo!
But I do want to show some receipts because somebody wanted to say that we're bullies. Who's this from? Can you read who that's from?
No, my eyesight sucks today.
That's from Karma Chameleon. Let me just go through all the posts that Karma Chameleon did to harass us.
Let everybody take screenshots.
By the way, just to remind you, Karma Chameleon is Patty Shevlin. Patty Shevlin, the same exact Patty Shevlin who just did a live show, who said that bullying is absolutely disgusting and unnecessary and puts people in the hospital and gives them nervous breakdowns. That Patty Shevlin.
So let me just say this to PP Patty. When you decided to go on my business page and post hundreds of comments, copy and paste about how we're liars and this and that, I was at one of the most depressed stages of my entire life. I was suicidal. Your comment could have pushed me over the edge.
And that was you,
Your
Patty.
comment could have pushed me over the edge. I literally, the day before she did that, I was in my mom's room at 4 a.m. crying, telling her to take me to the fucking mental hospital.
But
At 4
bullying,
a.m.
cyberbullying people can literally send vulnerable folks right over the edge, according to Patricia Shevlin's live show.
Right?
And you want to say that. And not only, so I blocked her after I saw it and tried to take a deep breath. But guess what? Do you know what she did after I blocked her? She went on Jerry's page and said, get this message to Tracy Reed and Caroline Reed. And people were like, go to Jerry's page. She's harassing you over there too. She made sure to harass us. And then she shares a post of my goddamn bulldogs, a picture of my bulldogs with my dad, and says, this woman's mother is a liar. When I was suicidal.
I can't.
So, for all those people who think that Patricia Shevlin is a righteous, God-fearing woman who prays over you and has some connection to the divine, I would challenge you that my experience with her and Caroline's experience with her has not been quite that. And while we do not claim to be sent from heaven, we do have a firm ground to stand on with our own personal integrity. And if you think that telling the truth is bullying, then I think you should probably look up bullying in the dictionary, because if you can't face your own truth, then you're the one who's built your life on a foundation of lies, and that's not my fault. But all of the things you attempted to accuse us of have all been disproved by fact. So I guess, like when you mentioned that they're making fun of me and calling me PP Patty because I was talking on the phone to a friend and it got recorded. How many of us have not gone to the bathroom while we're on the phone with a friend? She wasn't on the phone with a friend. She was in a clubhouse. She sounded incredibly intoxicated, told everyone she was going to pause put it on mute so she could go to the bathroom. And that was the same one where she was making fun of one of the people who was trying to speak with her about having a stroke. So PP Patty isn't PP because someone was going potty and recorded her while she was talking to a friend. She was noticeably altered in personality on a public clubhouse, urinating with her microphone on. So I'm not really interested in how she explains it. I'm taking back the hashtag because they're just bullies. We're not bullies. That's the facts. You don't like the facts? Then you should probably not challenge the veracity of our statements. You, on the other hand, have a very strange definition of bullying. But that being said, if you have lots of friends who are in recovery from drug and alcohol abuse and the truth that we're telling them is pushing them over the edge, then I think perhaps they need the kind of counseling that you can't provide, because as a friend, if you really cared about them, you would probably recommend that they get the assistance that they need at a professional level. But that's just what I do for my friends. Or I guess my daughter, when she comes to me and says that she needs some help that I can't give her. But that's, that's just me.
And as I remember it correctly, Karma Chameleon also went on my page to try to bully me, even though I thought it was funny and I said thank you so much for this, but then she deleted it because I guess I was too thankful for what she did.
Because she's a coward.
She furthermore, under her own name, went on my live shows and called me out in front of all the customers about how I won't go live with her. I won't do this. I won't do that. She's going to ruin my life. Say my name, say my name. I mean, the whole 9 yards, and literally made TikToks, calling me a coward, said that she will never stop. Had I ever done anything like that to Patty?
No.
I'm busy trying to break paparazzi down to the facts. I'm not really interested in what Patricia Shevlin does. Not interested at all.
And then she does a live show and says how there's a group of people out there bullying people. No, it's called telling people that your $5 jewelry is full of lead, nickel, and other toxic chemicals. That's not bullying you. That's stating a fact. Sorry.
Your truth is so mean. The truth is so mean. We like our lies. We like our lie. Our lie is so pretty and shiny and pink and sparkly. We love it.
So that is my clapbacks.
The irony.
I hope everybody enjoyed the clapbacks.
Clapbacks are done. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tea time. I only tried to cuss a little bit, and I would not have cussed that mad if it wasn't for whoever that person was that was pissing me off. I noticed she had nothing else to say afterwards, so I guess I did my job. I was going to try to keep it more clean, but I can't help it when people piss me off.
So y'all, some people have told us that they have a hard time listening to our message because of the salty language. We're trying very hard to rein in the salt because we think that the message we have to share is super important. But we're not going to change who we are, period. We're salty. I hope that your ability to glean the information from our message still exists, even though we use some words that you might not agree with. Because I actually hate self-righteous people who like to get up on a soapbox and talk about my language and how it offends them. I don't care.
Correct.
Your self-righteous judgment offends me. How about them apples, peaches?
Correct. So my new saying is, buy cupcake, go get frosted. I don't give a shit.
And from Tracy and Caroline and Feisty, see you next Tuesday. We'll be in the Clubhouse after party if y'all want to join us there. See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.